Welcome back, guys, to another one of our at-home yoga sequences. Today I actually decided to do a restorative sequence for you guys. I know I've been really wanting to do a beginner's sequence, but I have been feeling a little bit weak lately, and so I really felt that, you know what, a restorative sequence is important to put out. And it's important because in case you yourself are getting over a illness or an injury and you can't keep up with, say, faster paced yoga classes or more intense physical movement, something like a restorative yoga practice is really good for you, and that way you don't have to just stop all activity altogether. You still have something that you can do. So restorative sequence, just for those who don't know, it's just more so a handful of poses that are held with either props or no props, and it's just so that way we're gonna work to really relax into the poses, kind of like gravity take our bodies down to open up, to feel a lot better and really work on our breath and our mind. Now, if you do have yoga props at home, like blocks, straps, anything like that, feel free to bring them around your mat. If not, I will be doing almost all the poses basically without our typical yoga props. If you do have something like a towel, like I grabbed a towel and rolled it up, I tend to use a towel or even a pillow, a couch cushion, anything like that that's around you, you can use for a bunch of the yoga poses. And I will give you ideas of when you can, or if you don't want to use them, you don't have to either. So I tend to like to start a lot of the restorative practices with just that little bit of movement. That way our bodies can become a bit more loose, making it easier to just kind of let go and relax into each pose. So come to a comfortable cross-leg position to start, and we're just going to drape our hands over our knees, shoulders relaxed, and start by bringing that right ear to the right shoulder. Just getting a nice light neck stretch to start. Have that left shoulder feeling like it's really sinking away from the ear. And for a bit more pressure, you can always take that right hand over to the left ear and just tug down gently. Really let yourself begin to just breathe into the neck, feel it opening up, getting rid of any tension. We tend to hold a lot of it in our neck. You can always even nod the head, finding that tightest point and just hold there. And release, and then bring your left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand again, you can bring over to that right ear just to tug a little bit deeper. Feeling this time that right shoulder actively sinking away from the ear. Let yourself lightly deepen the stretch. Take those nice few breaths. Maybe again you might want to nod the head to find that tightest point and hold there. Already even be aware of the jaw. Make sure it's unclenched so you're not biting down really hard. We don't want to create any of that unwanted tension. And release. Again, hands just draped over the knees. And as you inhale, begin to puff that chest forwards, taking your gaze to the ceiling. And exhale, round through that mid-back, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, push back. Inhale forwards, feel your pelvis tipping up as well a bit. And exhale, push back. The pelvis feels like it's tucking under. Another inhale forwards. Exhale, push back. One more inhale forwards, and on the next exhale, come back to that neutral spine. Now here's we inhale. I want you to puff that chest forwards, but this time you're going to start to draw a circle using your chest towards the back, rounding it when you get there, and just continue that nice circular motion, as big or as small movement as you need. As you puff that chest forwards, make sure you're taking those nice deep inhales, and exhales is when you're rounding your back. Really feel everything in the body starting to move, letting it warm up. Feel the muscles in the back, the spine moving. Notice any maybe creaks or cracks that your body's making. Just get to know the body a little bit more right here. And begin to rotate in the opposite direction. Notice if there's any differences from when you were rolling one direction to the other. And begin to roll your way back to the center. Just bring your right hand to the mat beside you. Inhale that left arm up to the ceiling and then reach it over to the right with an exhale. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling. You can always start to bend into that right elbow as much as you need to really open up that side body, open up the ribs. And I want you to feel that left hip really sinking down towards the mat as you reach to the right. If you feel like you're able to, you can always start to open the chest a bit more towards the ceiling, just a very light twist. And lifting your way back up, left hand to the mat beside you. Inhale that right arm up and exhale over to the left. Again, you can take your gaze to the ceiling, bending into that left elbow as much as you need. Open up the ribs, breathe and let it expand. Get that nice side body stretch. Feeling that right hip really sinking down to the mat as you reach to the left. And lifting your way back up to center. From here, we're just going to actually take ourselves down onto our mat, nice and flat on your back. This is where we're going to really start to actually begin our restorative practice. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together, let the knees drop open and apart. If you do have any yoga props, pillows, or blankets with you, you can always toss them underneath the knees if this is a bit too much, and that way you can keep them lifted to where it's most comfortable. If not, just allow gravity to take them, let them open. Have your arms down by your sides with the palms up, tuck those shoulder blades underneath. Take a moment here and then let the eyes begin to close. Letting yourself just start to follow the natural breath. Notice your natural pattern of breathing, especially in this moment. Noticing if it's a little bit fast, if it's rapid or shallow. Notice if your natural breath is maybe already nice and smooth and slow. And it's not to make any judgments on where we are right now, but just to see where the breath is at so we can work to slow it down a little bit more and create that mind-body relaxation. Notice in the body what naturally lifts and falls as you breathe. Notice what feels tight or loose as you breathe. And we want to begin to develop some patience with ourselves. Even if the breath is rapid, just follow it. Really follow every inhale, every exhale, let it be. Now in time, we know that the more we focus on our breath, on that natural breath, it does tend to slow itself down on its own. But if you feel you need that little bit of help to calm that breath down, just begin to lengthen it. Take nice deep inhales and long exhales. Feeling that stomach, that chest rise and fall with every deep breath that you take. Feel the pulse of the heart. Feel it slowing down with every breath. Let yourself feel with each breath that you're releasing any tension, any stress within the body. The muscles are letting go of any tightness. You feel like you're grounding just a bit further into that mat below you. And keep in mind that with a restorative practice, our minds do tend to wander. It's almost impossible not to think, and it can be quite challenging for most, especially since we're just simply trying to relax the bodies and lay there through the pose. So we want to have no judgment with ourselves if the mind wanders. We want to be aware of the mind, make sure we know if our thoughts travel, when they come and when they go. Take a note of where the mind wanders to, and then just simply bring it back to the breath, continuing with that practice. In time it becomes easier, but for now, we just bring the mind back into focus for every inhale and every exhale. Take a scan of your body from head to toe, see how it feels. Make a note of any muscles, any joints that may be injured or maybe sore. And that way you can respect all of that throughout your entire practice, taking any modifications that you may need. Few more nice deep breaths, really letting yourself come into the present moment, into your body, the here and now. Gently wiggle those fingers and the toes. Softly start to lift those knees back up together and just straighten them down the mat. Take your arms up above the head and have a nice long body stretch with a deep breath. And start by bringing your right knee to the chest. Hug the right knee with your hands, just nice and tight, and you can choose to keep the eyes closed or have them softly open here. Hanging on to that right knee, we're just going to draw little circles with the knee. And make sure to rotate in both directions as well. Just taking that nice light dig into our hips. And then take that right knee and let it softly drop to that left side of the body, that left side of the mat. Just a gentle twist. You don't need to force it here. Keep an eye on that low back. If you're feeling any pinches, just lift the knee up a little bit higher. If not, allow it to sink. Try to feel both those shoulders still open and touching the ground below it. And lifting that right knee back up, straighten it down the mat and bring the left knee to the chest. Hug it nice and tight. And draw those little circles with that left knee, still remembering to go in both directions. And softly let that left knee drop to that right side. Again, only taking it as far as is comfortable for your body, for your back. Feeling it starting to loosen up a little bit in the spine, releasing even more tension. And lifting that left knee back up. Bring the right knee to the chest. Hug them both nice and tight. And then you can either begin to rock back and forth or roll to one side and start to lift your way up just to a quick cross-legged seated position on your mat. And now here we're going to go right back to our butterfly legs. So bring the soles of the feet together and let those knees hang apart. A little bit of a deeper variation here because before we were on our backs, just kind of letting it gently open. So here we want to add a little bit of our body weight to this fold. So you're going to feel that pelvis just tipping up slightly and allow your chest to start to lean forwards. It's okay if your back rounds a little here. We don't have to work so hard to keep that really straight back. But we do want to work with our chest reaching forwards just to help deepen this stretch. You can hang on to your feet and let your head hang. Maybe allow the eyes to close close again as you just gently rest that body here. If you do again have any props, any blocks, couch cushions, bolsters, or even a rolled up towel, you can always, to make it a little bit of a lighter pose, place that prop over your shins. Might need to be a little bigger than a towel, but let it rest on the shins, and that way you can just sort of fold your body over that prop. Just giving yourself an extra way to relax the body. But again, it's up to you. I just want to give those variations to make it a little bit easier if you need, depending on your injuries. And just follow the breath. We always want to come back to it at the start of every pose. Scan the body and see what is tight, what is loose. Notice if something is a pinching pain and it might need your attention, it might need an adjustment. Or maybe your body feels fine, maybe a bit weak, just let the shoulders relax. Feeling those deep breaths, take those nice long inhales and long exhales. Even once in a while, you can take that exhale through the mouth, just releasing even more of that heaviness that may be within you to let as much of it go as you can. The more we're able to relax the body, relax the mind, the easier it is to really get into a restorative practice, to get the benefits from it that we need for our body and mind. And even as you get more and more relaxed, you might feel the body falling forwards a bit more. Allow that to happen. If at any point it feels too much, again, you can always lift yourself back up to where it's most comfortable, to where you feel that light stretch happening, but no pains. If you do want to end up holding these poses longer than I am at this time, if you have something even like a laptop or you're using your phone, you can press pause and hold the pose as long as you feel you may need before continuing on to the next pose. Just 2 more nice deep breaths. And begin to gently lift your way back up. Grab a hold of those knees, bring them together, and just rock them a little side to side, keeping your hips or body still nice and loose. And stopping back in the center, we're going to straighten that right leg down the mat and take that left foot, cross it over the right leg. And you can either keep your knee lifted, or if your hips are a bit more open, let that left knee drop. We want to make sure that we're flexing that right foot. That's the part that's a bit more active here, and that way we get a nice stretch from the Achilles tendon even through the calf. Just like before, tilt that pelvis up a little bit and let the body start to fall forwards. Let that head hang, let the body relax. Again, you can choose to close your eyes again or leave them just softly open. If you have any of those props, you can always place one on top of that shin, giving yourself a bit more of a comfort there for you to just relax. Deepen that breath, still remembering to come back to the breath anytime the mind wanders. Feel every inhale really expanding the stomach, the chest, even up to the collarbone, and every exhale, feel the body sinking just that little bit further. You're releasing any pressure within you. Breathe it out. Just holding here for a few breaths. One more nice deep breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Begin to lift your way back up. Gently lift the left knee up and just straighten it down the mat. Maybe a quick little leg shake. And then take that right foot, cross it over the left thigh. And again, you can keep the knee lifted or allow it to drop open. Flex that left foot, a little bit active. Tilt that pelvis up and gently start to let yourself fall forwards. Coming back to that feeling of being inside your body, feeling the breath. Bring that body awareness to yourself. Notice if this side maybe is tighter or more loose than the other. If one side is tighter, you can always again hit pause and maybe hold this side a little bit longer. Just bring some of that extra balance back to the body. Once again, feeling those nice inhales, those long exhales. Allowing the body to sink a bit further with every exhale, knowing that you're just releasing any tightness within you as you do so. A few more breaths here. One more nice deep breath through the nose and release through the mouth. Gently start to lift your way back up and straighten that right leg down the mat, giving them a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to swing our knees to one side of the mat, come up onto the knees, and we're going to get into a child's pose. So here we want to open up the knees a bit, sit down on those heels, and before we fully go into our child's pose, if you find this is a lot of tension on your knees, you can always take a towel rolled up to whatever height is comfortable for you and actually tuck it between the calf and the thigh, and that will help lift it up, relieving some of that tension, some of that pressure. If you do need any props in front of you, again, pillows, cushions, you can always place it in front of you to lean on top of. From here, we're going to walk those arms forwards, lowering our chest down to the mat for our child's pose. Bring that forehead down. Allowing your eyes to either again be closed or just softly open. You want to make sure that you're feeling those shoulders sinking down the back. That third eye, that middle of the forehead, pressing against the mat, letting it activate. Just the crown of your head reaches forwards, lengthening your spine. With every breath, feel your chest sinking to the mat. Still taking those long inhales, those long exhales. But if you have been finding it difficult for your mind to stay focused on the breath, such a simple technique you can use is just saying the words inhale and exhale to yourself with every breath that you take. And that way your mind has something to focus on, but it's still on that breath. Still resting here in our child's pose. You can stay with those arms reaching forwards, just relaxing your way to the mat. But if you do want to add a bit of a side body stretch, you can begin to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Still keeping your forehead to the mat. Feel yourself reaching that left arm a little bit further, just deepening the stretch down the lats, opening the ribs, down into the hips. And if you are in that side bend, begin to walk your hands back to the center and then over to the left. Same thing, we want to though feel the right arm this time reaching a little bit further, deepening that stretch. Still keep your forehead to the mat and follow your breath. Once again, if you're in that side bend, just walk your hands back to the center, resting in our regular child's pose for a few more breaths. Maybe still saying the words inhale and exhale to yourself as you breathe. One more nice deep breath here. And then gently start to lift your way back up, coming right to a tabletop. And just swing your knees to one side of the mat. Place your weight down and kick those feet back out in front of you. We're going to come down onto our backs for this one. Keep your knees bent. And we're going to walk the soles of our feet to the edges of the mat. You can even go outside of the mat. And then allow those knees to drop together towards each other, right into the center. Allow your arms to drop down by your sides, always with the palms up, so that way our shoulders rotate open. You want to feel that tailbone tucking under just slightly, giving us a little bit of extra length in the spine. If this is a little bit too much for whether it's your knees or hips, you can always just simply walk the feet closer together, or you can always even place a pillow maybe between the legs. But if you do want to deepen the stretch, just walk the feet further and further apart, maybe even rolling to the inside edges of the feet, letting the knees hang in the center. Find what works best, as all our bodies are different, our injuries may be different. We need to take care of our bodies as an individual, how it works for you. Let your eyes close. Still following that breath, lengthening it. And this is always a great pose to really feel with every inhale as if you're breathing in energy. Breathe in love and openness into the body. And every exhale, focus on any heaviness, any tension you have. Breathe it out, let it go. If you like to visualize, with every inhale you can visualize a white light surrounding you. With every inhale, you breathe that white light into the body. Let it fill you up. Let that white light make you feel more light and more calm. And every exhale, see some of that gray energy within you, and you just breathe it out. See it leave the nose or the mouth, and it just disappearing in the distance. And then again, you continue that cycle. So every inhale, you replace that gray energy, that negative energy within the body with that positive, bright, white light. Still continuing with that breath work or visualization. Or maybe you found that saying the words inhale and exhale just works so perfect for yourself. Continue with that as well if needed. Take a few more of those nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Still feeling the back of those hips opening up, especially since we did a bunch of that front hip opening towards the start of our practice. This just gave us the chance to counter that. From here, gently start to lift those knees apart, nice and slow. Heel toe the feet back together in the center and let yourself just rock them a little side to side. Giving yourself a nice light glute massage, keeping the hips loose. And then even step your feet a bit further apart and again rock the knees a little side to side. And stopping back in the center. Allow yourself to just roll completely to one side and use the hands to lift your way back up. Here's where I want you to grab that pillow, that blanket, couch cushion, anything that you do have, and have it either folded or on its original flat level, and place it underneath that low back. We want to have it tucked right up against the hips. Usually the best way to place a cushion or towel behind you is to have it resting horizontally behind, not vertical. And then we're going to straighten the legs out, just give them a little bit of a shake. Let the feet just wiggle and fall apart. And slowly start to walk the hands behind you, lowering your back down over that prop that you have for a nice low back bend. Here you can open the arms up nice and wide, maybe even have the arms resting up above the head. Always take a moment to scan the body, see how it feels. Notice any pinches or pains that you may have and readjust accordingly. And then come back to that breath as we've been doing. Every nice deep inhale that you take, feel that stomach expanding. The diaphragm just towards the bottom of your ribs, getting a nice light stretch. Feel your heart reaching to the ceiling, to the sky. And every exhale, just let go. Feel the body sink to that prop underneath you. You can continue with any of the different breath works or visualization that work best. Another one that you can always use in a pose like this is simply counting down every exhale from 10 to 1, sounding like inhale, exhale 10, inhale, exhale 9. And once you reach 1, you just start right back up at 10 again and continue that cycle. Still remembering that we have no judgment if our mind wanders. Because if it does, we can simply just bring it back to the breath. We can start that breath work again. It's that easy. We just continue our practice. If you start to feel maybe a release of emotion, or you feel your body is starting to tense up again, just give your wrists a bit of a wiggle, your feet a bit of a wiggle, roll them, shake them a little, and and just let them go again. Still following that breath. Feeling the body open as you breathe. Always letting it feel more light and more calm. But still with every exhale, you feel grounded, you feel safe, you feel secure. If you tend to work at a desk or you always seem to be hunched over, I encourage you to lay in this pose. As long as you feel you need, you can hit that pause button until your back feels nicely lengthened and stretched out. Take another 2 deep breaths. And then start to just bend at the knees, placing the soles of the feet to the mat. And that way you can gently lift those hips up enough to slide that prop right out from under you, lowering the hips back down. And just bring the knees to the chest, give them a nice tight squeeze. And to go into our twists, you're going to start to just scoot your butt a little bit over to the left and let the knees drop to that right side nice and gentle, so that way we don't pull any muscles in the back. You can open up your arms to the sides. Maybe keep your gaze towards the ceiling and softly let the eyes close. If this is a little bit too deep and you need to ease it up, just push the knees away from the chest or place the prop underneath the knees to keep them lifted. If not, to deepen it, you can just bring the knees towards the chest or use that right hand on the knees to lightly pull them down. Meanwhile, still feel that left shoulder sinking to the mat below. You will notice the breath here won't be as long, won't be as deep, and that's okay. We still work to keep the breath slow and controlled. Don't give in to the rapid breathing. Here we notice the breath and how every inhale almost helps to tighten up the pose a bit, because our breath helps everything expand. And with every breath out, because we're releasing air, we create space, and it might allow the body to relax just that bit more, letting the body sink. Remember, there's no need to force it. If you have any injury in the adductors, hips, or even low back, just a few breaths here. And softly begin to lift those knees back up to the center. This time scooting your butt a little bit over to the right. And let those knees gently fall to the left. Opening those arms back up and adjusting for the twist that worked best for your body today. Still following that slow and controlled breath. Feel this pose just helping you wring out any last bit of tension, anything tight still within your body, or letting it go in this twist. Feel yourself wringing out all the toxins from along the back, through the body, physically it being wrung out, but still also breathing it out. Breathing out any of that dark energy, that negativity. Allowing allowing your body to feel more soothed, your mind more tranquil. Still allowing yourself to be in the here and now. Be aware of the body. A few more breaths. And then gently start to lift those knees back up to the center. Scoot your butt centered to that mat again. Hug the knees to the chest nice and tight. And even bring the forehead towards the knees. Curl up to that tight, tiny little ball. Help neutralize the spine. Keep that chin tucked to the chest. And then relax the neck. Begin to straighten the legs down the mat. And to get comfortable into Shavasana, if you do have any of those props with you, you can feel free to toss them underneath the knees, maybe keeping them lifted that little bit. If you have a thin blanket, maybe place it underneath the head if you want that extra cushion, especially depending on how long you may decide to lay here. Have your palms up beside your sides. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath. Allow the eyes to close for that final pose. Take 2 nice deep breaths before returning to that natural breathing. Especially since our breath was shortened in a twist, we want to let everything have that chance to expand once again. Feel nice and open. And then again, just return to the natural breathing. No need to strain it. Allow the thoughts just to flow. No need to try to control them so much. We still try not to linger on any one particular thought, but we want it to just float right by. Feel every inch of the body sinking and grounding to that mat below. Let the ankles feel as if they're just hanging open. The hips and shoulders also open and sinking below. Every muscle in the body at ease. The stomach, the chest still rising and falling naturally. Be aware of the jaw, make sure it's still unclenched, maybe even part those lips slightly, allowing every facial muscle to be at ease. Allow the eyelids to feel heavy, but try not to squint the eyes so we're not creating any strain. Have your gaze be within the body, but towards that third eye between the brows. And allow your body, mind, and soul to just be. Taking this time as that chance to really just pause and feel. Breathing in, I feel myself. Breathing in. Breathing out, I feel myself. Breathing out. Breathing in, I follow the breath all the way through. And breathing out, I follow the breath all the way out. Breathing in, I feel more light. Breathing out, I feel more calm. Breathing in, I smile to my body. Breathing out, I acknowledge what a wonderful moment this is. Gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing some of that sensation back to the body. Rock the head a little side to side. And reach those arms up over the head. Take that nice long body stretch. Leaving your right hand above the head, left hand to the stomach. Bend at the knees and gently roll to that right side, resting for a moment in the fetal position, maybe using that right arm as a pillow for the head. Always use this pose as that moment to thank yourself for dedicating a practice to you, the time that you deserve, to your body, your mind, and your soul. And still trying to keep eyes closed, use those hands to help lift your way back up. Come to a comfortable cross-legged seated position. If you're still sore at all, you can always sit on top of a pillow or the blanket to ease it for the hips. Have your palms up over the knees. Let those shoulders be relaxed. Feel the pelvis tucked under slightly, chest a bit puffed. Really reach tall through the crown of your head and feel yourself lengthening that spine. Begin to exhale all remaining air. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Sigh through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Sigh again through the mouth. In through the nose. Last, release through the mouth. Bring your hands together at heart center and rub those palms together. Create your own heat to your own energy. Place the palms over the eyes, allowing your eyes to gently blink their way open into the darkness of the palms of your hands, feeling that heat and energy flowing back in to allow your mind to take the rest that it needs. And bring the hands back to heart center. Namaste.